Coming up on Confidential, the WWE and Playboy, a match made in heaven.
If I ever won the Super Bowl, instead of saying I'm going to Disney World, I'd be saying I'm going to the Playboy Mansion.
And a peek into the King's Royal Gallery.
I've literally painted on just about everything. Automobiles, sides of buildings. I've even painted on skin before.
Hi everyone, I'm Gene Okerlund, and this is WWE Confidential. First up tonight, Playboy and the WWE. You're probably thinking, what the heck could these two enterprises possibly have in common? Well, the bunny and the scratch logo are two of the most recognized trademarks in the entire entertainment field. Hugh Hefner and Vince McMahon are two of the most flamboyant corporate moguls in the entire world. Both men have been hailed as visionaries who have reinvented their industries. They've also been criticized for being responsible for the moral decline of Western civilization. That again, so were Elvis and the Beatles, so they're in good company. Without question, Playboy and the WWE have been showcases for some of the biggest stars in the history of entertainment. Ever since Marilyn Monroe graced the cover of Playboy's first issue back in 1953, they set a new standard in female sexuality. The WWE divas have taken that standard one step further by showing the world that a strong, athletic woman can be beautiful and sexy as well. So when you think about it, Playboy and the WWE make a perfect match. That's why SmackDown siren Tori Wilson will grace the cover of the May edition of Playboy.
I've always dreamed about being in Playboy. I've always really appreciated the art, let alone the beautiful women in Playboy.
Well, I think that that wrestling has its own mania and had its own following, and obviously there's a significant crossover. So I think we tap into an additional market that's very good for everybody.
Tori by far is one of the most beautiful superstars we've had yet to appear in Playboy.
She's definitely got it. She's a beautiful bombshell. She's representing for WWE. I mean, what more can you say? It's there. I think Sable back in her day, she had her time. Same with China. Now it's Tori's time.
She's beautiful, she's smart.
She's bringing a lot of class and a lot of WWE superstardom to Playboy.
I'm really excited. I mean, Hugh Hefner, and I'm really excited to go up and see the mansion and everything.
Before you actually get to see the Playboy Mansion, you have to drive up this long, winding driveway. There it is, all of a sudden, in this beautiful pastoral grounds and all these lovely trees and flowers and everywhere, this huge mansion. And the only thing that you don't see right off the bat are naked playmates. Well, there's so many different things that you get to see there on the Playboy Mansion grounds. Of course, the grotto. It's good to be the king. One thing a lot of people don't realize is like Hugh Hefner has his own personal zoo, so to speak. There are so many animals. There are these huge goldfish, and there are flamingos and birds, and he has a whole a primate section. He has a whole cage that you can actually go into with probably 50 of these little spider monkeys. They'll sit on your shoulder, and it's just there's so many things there other than the playmates that are interesting.
I think the relationship between WWE and Playboy, I mean, a lot of it's the same fan base. Our fans, read Playboy, and Playboy fans, watch our programming. It goes hand in hand.
I'm gonna be on the cover of Playboy.
I'm gonna stop those pictures from coming out because nobody's gonna see Mamacita naked, okay? I gotta destroy those pages. Excuse me.
just a natural relationship. Sable, my beautiful lady.
No.
It's huge. It was a thrill to actually get to meet the myth, the legend of Hugh Hefner.
The two sexiest guys in the world.
I can only dream about what Hugh Hefner's life is like.
Hi, Goyles. How are you?
Like what every man wants. Be around beautiful women all day, every night. Party, have a good time. That's what life is all about.
He's a guy that's in a spotlight. He's surrounded by beautiful women. That's the life he leads. All the rest of us can do is just go back and go, damn, I wish that was me.
If I ever won the Super Bowl, instead of saying I'm going to Disney World, I'd be saying I'm going to the Playboy Mansion.
Well, we're very excited about it. Both Sable and China were big sellers of the magazine.
There are high expectations following Sable and China. They're both very beautiful and they both sold a lot of magazines.
I mean, they've had some good superstars in the past, but I think by far Tori's going to blow them all away.
Up next, a fantasy matchup of epic insult proportions.
I think Piper would look him square in the eyes and say, "You've got to have the worst beard in wrestling history."
WrestleMania means to me the biggest show of the year. I mean, all year round, you're working for one goal, and that's to get to WrestleMania, have the biggest match you can possibly have on that show at the biggest stage in our business.
Welcome to the greatest sports entertainment spectacular of all time. Welcome to WrestleMania!
The very first WrestleMania I saw was WrestleMania 1. It was before pay-per-view. It was on closed circuit TV, and I couldn't get a ticket to go. There wasn't anywhere close to where I was living, so what I did was I put a hold on it at the video store. So the day that it came out on video, I rented it, had a little party at my house, had all my friends in the basement. We sat around, watched WrestleMania, and then after that we had a battle royal in the living room. So that's what we did. My favorite WrestleMania moment, I'd say, probably when Edge and I won the tag team titles for the first time. So that was the first time we got to wrestle in a WrestleMania, and to be able to win the tag team titles in a triple threat ladder match.
Edge and Christian have won it!
It was awesome. That's probably my favorite moment.
The WWE Rewind is brought to you by the new Starburst Sour, a sour kick from the first chew to the last.
Jericho, the self-proclaimed King of the World. Nature Boy Ric Flair, a living legend. Jericho landed a little strangely on that knee. Flair's cutting Jericho a break here. Oh no! Flair relaxed and turned his back on Jericho. Dirtiest player in the game. Who got outsmarted?
This week, we continue our series of fantasy matchups, but this time with a bit of a twist. Tonight, two superstars who would just as soon talk you to death as slap the taste out of your mouth. So hold on to your dangling participles. It's a no adjectives barred war of words between Hot Rod, Rowdy Roddy Piper, and the King of the World, Y2J, Chris Jericho.
All right, jackass, are you ready for a beating?
If you want a contest, we can do it now.
I said, are you ready to fight me right now?
You couldn't hold my jockstrap on your best day.
I'm gonna prove that I am better than you.
In my opinion, there's several aspects of the match that you got to look at. Number one, psychology. As much as I admired and respect Rowdy Roddy Piper, I truly believe that Chris Jericho, Y2J, can get under your skin quicker than anyone I've ever seen.
I've got the class, the style, I have got the raw charisma.
He's a humble rascal, ain't he? But he is good. He's very good.
When he walks out through those curtains and he flashes that grin of his and those flashy shirts of his, it gets under your skin. So right away, I think it would cause Rowdy Roddy Piper to flip.
The
Roddy Piper was great at just going over the top, destroying stuff on Piper's pit.
The boss is back.
Jericho is great at making you believe that he is
The king of the world. I was rowdy before rowdy was cool. This show is now my show. What exactly is it about you that I am supposed to respect, other than the fact that you're a short, scrawny, ugly jerk? You address me the way I demand and deserve to be addressed, and that is the living legend, Chris Jericho.
I think Piper would look him square in the eyes and say, "You've got to have the worst beard in wrestling history."
You ugly son of a gun. Oh, my goodness. Would you let your daughter go out with this man?
I think if Chris Jericho had the opportunity to talk to Piper, he would say, "I'm a huge rock star!"
Roddy Piper was the king of promos.
You want to have a debate with me? It's like trying to save the Titanic with a cork.
In his day, Piper was the greatest.
That's the best damn thing you're ever gonna get. You want to step in the ring with a guy like Hot Rod. I don't need to tell you how tough I am. You'll know how tough I am. It doesn't matter to me what you were, what you are, what you will be. You want to see me fight? The first thing you got to do, put Grandmama to bed, make sure she's comfy, go make yourself a bologna sandwich, bring her on down. Oh, no. It won't be a pretty sight, but I will be when it's finished.
Roddy Piper, look at this entrance, McMahon. Let me tell you something, I'm even a little jealous myself.
All you jackasses here make me sick.
Chris Jericho is one of those that it's easy to hate him. It's easy not to like him. So certainly I think Piper would be the crowd favorite in this particular matchup.
My goodness, there's no doubt who this capacity crowd wants to win this showdown. It's put up or shut up time. Well, Chris Jericho wasting little time getting action started.
Y2J can do some phenomenal technical moves that Piper just wasn't skilled at that. Piper was a fighter.
A free-for-all breaking loose here.
Piper would have to take any advantage that he would have because I think Chris Jericho is more athletic than Roddy Piper was. But I think Piper can use other advantages, and that's why this is such an even fantasy matchup.
Oh, sleeper by Hot Rod, right in the center of the ring.
Being old school, I always thought the sleeper hold was one of the most amazing finish holds you could possibly do on somebody.
He's got the walls of Jericho locked in.
Medically, getting your spine bent backwards while you're upside down, all the blood rushing to your head, it's too much to handle.
The sleeper hold, albeit effective, doesn't look as devastating as having somebody rolled up and sitting on the small of their back, because I think we've all been torqued at some point in our lives, and that hurts.
Beyond a shadow of a doubt, Y2J, when he hits that walls of Jericho and bends the back, that's definitely more punishing than Piper sleeper hold.
Jericho looking to make a statement here tonight.
I think if both men were in their prime, Chris Jericho, Roddy Piper, I would have to pick Chris Jericho just because I think with Chris Jericho's track record.
Never mind the fact that I was the very first undisputed champion in the history of this company.
I would pick Jericho to win because, you know, being a genius myself, I respect a genius in the ring, and I know that Chris Jericho is a smarter man than Piper.
I feel magnificent. I feel glorious. I feel glorificent.
As much as I love Chris Jericho, I'd have to go with Roddy Piper just on sheer guts alone.
You think for 1 second Hot Rod gonna be humiliated?
I think Piper, with his rage in the ring and his unorthodox style, would confuse Y2J. And I think Piper would end up getting the 1, 2, 3 on it.
Everybody pays the Piper! Shut your mouth, jerky boy, and listen to me. I am a larger-than-life living legend, damn it! You are a farce! You are a joke! I am the king of the world!
Up next, the King draws plenty of attention every week on Raw.
The King draws a variety of things, some that we won't talk about on the air. He draws females and occasionally certain female body parts.
He's Eddie. He's Chavo. De los Guerreros.
Viva la raza!
They like chicken steel.
Man, this is a beautiful neighborhood, Simones. It looks familiar. Hey, didn't we steal a car around here one time? Something like that. Watch it, this. Excuse me, ma'am. You look very, very familiar to me. Are you on TV?
Yes, your name Pamela.
That's where we know her
That's
from.
Right.
That show.
That's right. Man, she's on that show with all the mamacitas running on the beach. It's
Baywatch. That's right, bro.
Yeah.
That's right. And look at your hair is so beautiful.
It shines. Yes. Oh, look, a little baby. Mira nomás, qué cute. Hey, little baby.
What's her name?
Emily. Emily. And you know what that means in Spanish? Yeah, that means light of God.
That's right, it does.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna let you go now, okay? We're gonna see you again really, really soon.
Make sure you keep that baby warm now. That's the ugliest baby I have ever seen.
Bro, you're not kidding, man. That baby could steal the shine right off my rims.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, what time is it?
Oh, wait a minute. Here, hold that for me. Oh, it's about 3:15.
Hey, is that a Rolex, bro?
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I said, what are you gonna do with that?
Hey, man, you took everything else. I had to take something.
Well, we could use it for some coffee.
Hey, milk does a body good, bro.
Oh, what the? If you're not cheating, you're not trying. Viva la raza!
Shock jock Howard Stern has proclaimed himself to be the king of all media. No question, Howard rules the radio waves. But the WWE has its own king of all media, and this king really has done it all. Besides holding several world titles in the wrestling industry, he's also starred in television programs and motion pictures. Plus, he's a published author and artist, and he's even recorded a couple of singles. No, I'm not talking about the Scorpion King. I'm talking about the real king, Jerry the King Lawler.
Frank Frazetta. There's Frank himself right there. This guy was one of my heroes. These were my favorite paintings that he had done originally. I think I liked Frank Frazetta's work because he always painted these exotic-looking women with the great puppies and the really neat derrieres. Examples of my art hanging on the wall here. That is just a tiger that I did years ago. And this is a little pastel portrait of my dad. It's been described as artistic ability as an extraordinary coordination between your hand and your eyes. In other words, when I see something, I can make my hand duplicate exactly what I see. When I was a kid, I got a John Nagy Learn to Draw kit. That really is probably where it all began. The first memories I have of anything concerning art are just drawing superheroes like Superman and Batman. I was really fascinated with the comic books. My real personal favorite artist is the artist that did these two prints. This is a world-famous Beale Street here in Memphis, Tennessee, and this is also a scene of the skyline of Memphis down on the Mississippi River. And these prints were done by my high school art teacher, Helen Stahl. She was such an influence on me. When I graduated from high school, it was like the height of the Vietnam War, and I was probably going to have to go, straight overseas. But Miss Stahl had saved a lot of my artwork, and she put together a portfolio for me and submitted it to Memphis State University, and I won a full tuition commercial art scholarship. And so I got to go to college instead of going to Vietnam. I'll show you where I produced some of this art. This is my drawing table, and then of course I have an easel over there. This drives JR nuts. I mean, on Monday nights when we're sitting there doing Monday Night Raw, JR is always taking notes. I might be sitting over there just kind of...
During the commercial breaks, he's constantly doodling on our television format sheets, whereby I'm frantic and trying to take notes. I think it's my jealousy toward King that he's so much more talented than I am. He is spontaneous, he's extemporaneous, and I'm a preparation freak. So driving me crazy means that I wish I could relax out there on Raw as much as King does.
Once I croak, this will be worth a fortune. Here you go. I have not only paintings, drawings, I have some calligraphy, around 20 pieces in my home. Picture I painted of Clark Gable. as Rhett Butler. This is the Christmas Chaos book that Mick Foley wrote and I illustrated. Every single drawing that you see in this entire book. It was really a lot of fun. Those are the actual drawings that I did to use in the book. If I would see another piece of art that I really liked, or a drawing or a picture, it would somehow inspire me to see if I could do that piece of art. Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, we got him here. This, of course, is Harvey Whippleman. Down in Memphis, he was known as Downtown Bruno. Reza Ramon. I always seem to put it on the back burner and think that this is something that I'm definitely going to do a lot more of when my schedule slows down, you know, when the wrestling schedule is not as hectic as it is right now.
Up next, the man beast deals with demons on the road to recovery.
Mentally, for the first 8 months, I was just beating myself up, you know, and miserable.
WWE superstars as a group comprise some of the most amazing athletes in the world. As such, they tend to make everything they do look effortless. But the truth of the matter is, they punish their bodies on a nightly basis. Pain and injuries are unavoidable. Earlier this week, we got the bad news that one of the hottest young stars in the WWE, Edge, will be out for an unspecified length of time. We're all hoping for a very speedy recovery. Which brings us to Rhyno. After 16 months that included neck surgery and a grueling rehab, the WWE superstar made his triumphant return to SmackDown on Thursday.
One thing Kurt Angle don't realize is that he's not the only one with friends around here. You ready? So, I'll see you at ringside.
Benoit in a partner of his choice set to take on Matt Hardy and Shannon Moore, but who is Benoit's partner? It's Rhyno! Rhyno's back! What a reception from this crowd for Rhyno! Rhyno missed 16 months with a back injury!
Obviously, the injury sucks. I think more or less wear and tear, you know, chair shots, and, you know, landing on your head, being dropped on your head. I'm sure it takes a toll. But there's a couple like hardcore matches I had. One was just incredible on a house show. And basically, I went to Gorham, he leapfrogged. I come up, I caught the middle turnbuckle with my head, and I had a huge stinger where your arms go numb. Really thought nothing of it, you know, but because I put it off to go to the doctor and get it checked out, a lot of wrestlers do. After 2.5, 3 months, it was like I couldn't sleep at night, you know, nothing. It was just I couldn't work out. So I had an MRI done, and it showed the herniated disc pinching the nerve. Because I didn't go and get it checked out earlier, there was some atrophy with the tricep. Mentally, for the first 8 months, I was just beating myself up, you know, and miserable. Everything you worked for 6, 7 years, you know, your dreams are coming true. Every time you go to work, you're so happy because it's what you love. And it seems like you have everything, and one day it comes to a screeching halt, and it's just like, you know, a couple months, one thing, but a year. This has probably been the hardest thing I've ever had to, you know, deal with. You can't get in there and train, and, you know, you see your body change, not for the better, but for the worse. I mean, it's just so hard, especially if you love the business, you know, and you're knocked out of it. I think that's what hurts the most. And then as time went by, and you know, that light, you know, you started to see it, and it started to get brighter, and it's like, man, time is going by fast. I've only got 4 months left, 3.5 months left. When I come back, I definitely want to be better than ever. The only thing I can't do is run headfirst into the turnbuckle. You know, I'm definitely going to give them something to cheer about.
This crowd cheering for Rhyno. Oh, the people can feel it. Rhyno can feel it. Here comes Rhyno. Oh, yeah! The man beast is in the ring. Rhyno doesn't look like he missed a step. Oh, look out! Oh.
When we return, the Big Show on the set of his latest commercial. Start your engines.
When he's grabbing my neck, that's real. I mean, he's really jerking me around pretty good, so it was pretty easy for me to feel the inflicted pain and react to it.
And Stacy answers the question, just how many thongs could you get for $1,000?
Well, I would probably at least get 100 pairs. I would never have to wash thongs.
A few weeks ago, the Great American Race, the Daytona 500, kicked off the NASCAR season at Daytona International Speedway. For those of you who are not racing fans, the Daytona 500 is kind of like the WrestleMania of auto racing. Not surprisingly, the Stacker 2 team wanted to make a big splash during the big race with some very big names in a brand new promotional campaign. Starring who else? The Big Show. His supporting cast, NASCAR superstars Kenny Wallace, Scott Wimmer, and 2002 Winston Cup champ, Tony Stewart.
Who are you?
The concept of the spot is really kind of cool. We wanted to take Stacker 2's NASCAR driver, Kenny Wallace, who we've seen on WWE programming for a long time, and kind of rib him a little bit. So the concept is everyone involved in the commercial, most notably Big Show, is ribbing him by telling him that he's his best friend.
Kenny, thanks to you and Stacker 2, I've made some great new friends in racing. Like just last week, Scott Wimmer took me fishing.
When he's grabbing my neck, that's real. I mean, he's really jerking me around pretty good, so it was pretty easy for me to, feel the inflicted pain and react to it.
Well, I was trying to be nice as I could to him, but they wanted physicality in the shot, so I'm sure his neck's pretty sore right now because I was yanking around all over the place.
As Big Show's reminiscing about the things he's done with some of the drivers, we kind of go off into his memory to the lake. We go off in memory to the rodeo at the movie theater. As you can see over my shoulder here, we have the boat, our shallow how gimmick from the portion of the commercial. Although it looks pretty simple, it's actually a very difficult gag to pull off. There's about 600 pounds of weight underneath the water, a disassembled truck chassis that they had to re-weld and put together to kind of keep it there, floating in position. So although it looks pretty cool and looks simple, a lot more difficult than it seems.
This is the moment of truth, ladies and gentlemen.
Scott!
You started to hear the boat creak and crack, and when you got in the boat and then it started shifting in the water, I thought we were both going to go in, but the guys did a great job putting the boat together, and that's a pretty big feat. There's probably about 700 pounds in there.
Scott was pretty cool, man. He had nerves of steel. If he was scared, I couldn't see it. Man, I hope you drive better than you fish.
Scott Wimmer. What a great actor. You put Marlon Brando out there. He couldn't bring up that lure any better than Scott Wimmer did. Another great location here was the Rockin' K Ranch, where we shot the rodeo portion of the commercial. The humor surrounding that portion of the commercial is that Big Show just loves to wrestle. He doesn't care if it's in a ring for the WWE or in a rodeo.
So, of course, being a Big Show that I am, I'm gonna go wrestle me a steer.
Wrestling's wrestling, hops over the fence and makes a beeline for that steer.
No, Big Show, no, not that kind of wrestling, no!
We had Big Show hop over this 8-9 foot fence 14, 15 times.
I was hopping from the grandstands to the fence, which was a good, probably 4 or 5 foot leap. We had to do about 20 takes. This sore.
The most important shot in the commercial was shot right here on the racetrack. That's when you, the viewer, learned that Big Show was not talking about his best friend, Kenny Wallace. Action!
No one compares to my new best friend, Tony Stewart.
Hey, Big Show, we got room for one more.
Yeah, they need the best.
God.
You son of a bitch!
But he was talking about his new good buddy, Tony Stewart.
Well, of course, Tony Stewart, 2002 Winston Cup champion. He's got 2 hot chicks in a golf court, and there's room for one more. So, Big Show's no dummy. He's going to jump in and go for a ride. What's Kenny got? 2 flat feet and a thumb in the air.
What?
Tony's a little hard to work with.
Hey, Big Show, there's room for one more.
Nails his lines every time. Hasn't made a mistake yet in front of the camera, and it's really pissing me and Kenny both off.
I hope I'm never, ever around anybody that big in my life again. That's the most intimidating man I think I've ever met in my life, but he's really cool. He's been really nice and a lot of fun. Run! Wait! You're my friend! Wait! Come back!
Who said Kenny can't run fast?
Marketing guru Stacy Keibler recently hooked Test up with a gem of all promotional gigs, GGW, also known as Girls Gone Wild. Now, Stacy's reaction to Test's promotional activity was a little less than enthusiastic. I think she felt Test was more into the activities than he was into the promotion. Well, as the old saying goes, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. A radio station in the Washington, D.C. area ran a promotion in which the winner went on a shopping spree at a lingerie store with, you guessed it, Stacy Keibler. I think Stacy was up for a little payback because word is her shopping spree went way over budget.
Well, today a winner of a contest got to go lingerie shopping with me. So me and Allison actually came and we browsed together. So where do we start?
Anywhere you want. I won tickets on DC 101, and then they put me in grand prize for Diva Thong shopping.
Now, what is your favorite color? I wear black, a lot of black. Yeah, me too.
My husband, I pretty much told him he had to stay home. He was begging, but I told him he needed to stay home.
Now, you have to be a thong girl, right?
I am a thong girl.
So do you give you a little crap about that if you weren't?
I do.
Every woman wears underwear, so, I mean, there's something in this store for anyone. It's not a thong, it's just a tease.
Does that go on one leg or?
It goes on two legs.
I'm very familiar with her. I watch her on the WWE, and she's got a pretty interesting job.
I wouldn't really wear this, but I'm thinking about my diva photo shoots.
There you go. That would look nice.
That's photo shoot quality. No. I have about 30 pairs of black thongs. I still keep buying them. These are some water parrots. Girls can just put these in their... They're actually filled with, like, jelly water, and they can put them in their bras. So watch out if you come home and these fall out of the bra. One more. Okay. I think I'm ready to try on now. You like it? Okay, let me try something else. How about this?
I thought she looked awesome. She has an incredible body. The body all women dream we have.
How about this one? All right, now you can come in. You like this one?
Right, I'm all ready.
All set?
Yeah.
Great.
Where's Stacy? Oh my goodness. Did you get enough?
I'm ready too. When you go on a shopping spree, it's like a free clothes, free money.
It's hard to stay within a budget. You want everything you put on.
It's like being a little kid in a toy store or something.
It was a great day. I had so much fun, and it was a good time to go shopping on a day off from work.
And we just laughed and giggled and shopped around. What more could two girls want to do but go lingerie shopping?
Up next, to pose or not to pose? That is the question.
Hell yeah, if the price was right, I posed nude, I would take off my clothes in a heartbeat.
Snickers Cruncher presents WWE WrestleMania 19, coming to you live Sunday, March 30th from Safeco Field in Seattle, Washington, and will be available exclusively on pay-per-view. Looking for a satisfying crunch? Grab a Snickers Cruncher. And you're listening to the theme song for WrestleMania 19 by Limp Bizkit, who will be performing live at WrestleMania 19.
Before we leave, we thought we'd ask our WWE superstars a burning question that all of us have confronted at one time or another. In light of the recent revelation that Tori Wilson will be posing nude in the pages of Playboy magazine, we asked some other folks here at the WWE if they would ever consider posing in the buff. What the hell?
When it comes to people asking me questions about posing nude, I say never say never.
Hell yeah, if the price was right, I posed nude, I would take off my clothes in a heartbeat.
Would I ever pose nude? No. If the women of America and around the world were polled and they wanted to see me nude, I don't think I would have a problem with that.
I just don't think
think I'm the girl to do a nude layout.
I would pose nude if it weren't for having a child.
I don't look down on it. I think I would have to wait for the opportunity.
Yeah, well, if I had maybe an orange G-string, I would.
It's a timing thing. If you might ask me that in 10 years and I might have a different answer. Right now, nah, don't need to.
If you asked me if I'd pose nude tomorrow, I'd say no.
I can't put a definite no on it, but yet I don't think it's something I'd go after.
I would never pose nude for any magazine or for any video. And thank you very little for that comment.
I come darn close to being nude in a lot of the things I wear.
I'm very comfortable with my body. I would have to think about it at the time, honestly.
I think leaving some stuff to the imagination is a really good thing.
In a year or two, who knows what's going to come my way.
Isn't it amazing what they can do with airbrushing these days? Next week, our confidential cameras are off to South Africa with the superstars of SmackDown. That's all for this week. Gene Okerlund reminding you, if you see and hear it here, it's confidential.
There was 750 prisoners kicking their doors, yelling and screaming. And I just got into the rhythm of things as well. So I started kicking the door, and eventually my door unbuckled and it came off the hinges. I didn't know I could do it. It just happened. I proceeded to make my way straight to the kitchen. And then I broke my way into the kitchen and I helped myself to food. And I thought, help out a few of my mates. I loaded up, I took it back to the other cells and I started feeding the other prisoners through the bars and turned on the television and started watching TV. And I remember the chief, he was running across the compound, terrified.